Start off with those really good deep breaths. And take a moment as you're down to kind of readjust some of the muscles on the back, making sure that everything from the calves through the glutes, through the shoulders and the neck, make sure it's all sitting in a pretty good aligned place, pretty comfortable. And notice with that pretty good alignment, how the breath wants to flow today. So let our breaths have some really good chances to go in and out. Just easy flow. This type of alignment we set ourselves up in, it helps me to just feel connected to my body. And that word is the focus of our class today, connection. So we're going to play with how one part of our body is connected to another part. Then that part is connected to another part. And so by us moving one thing, it's not just an isolated stretch. It helps all the surrounding areas. And so we'll get a chance to just kind of play around with things that feel good in our body. And I give you permission as we move through all these poses today, I give you permission to especially to make sure that you're adjusting constantly and just tuning into your body, listening, so that you're helping that overall connected feeling become even deeper and deeper and deeper as we go through class. So that'll be the idea that's on the back of our mind, just listening to that deeper connection in. And so with that idea to lead us on, let's start off with our first easy physical thing. Let's start to take our knees in toward the chest. So when the knees come in, it's no sense of force at all, just an easy rocking left and right. Or circles. And just notice as we move the knees, really the thing that's benefiting here is that sacrum and that low back. So that's just one example of how connected we are, of how something that's very far away is actually affecting something else quite distant from there. That's how our body works, that things closer to the center, closer to the core, experience things very different than the distal ends. So from here, start to release this left leg. Notice how it feels dropping onto the ground after having been hugged in for a moment. So a little release through that psoas. So from here, start to hug hands around the right knee. And very, very slowly, gradually start to let that right knee get closer and closer and closer toward right shoulder. It's nothing forceful. It's just kind of that curiosity. How much does it want to move? How much does it want to adjust? What wants to be the stretch today? Just gradually move it nice and easy in until you find a good opening across the front of the right hip. Like a little compression, a little massage. As we're preparing to let go of the left hand, find the right hand kind of wrapping around the knee, the front of the knee, so that when the right knee goes out wide to the right, we've got that good support. It's nothing that's intense for our arm strength. It's just kind of that easy wrap around. It's like how, a baby can just hold onto its mother's finger so tightly. It's like that's what we're doing right now. Just right around that knee and let the knee go as wide as gravity will allow. Notice what this does to other parts of the body. Do you feel this in the sacrum? Maybe you feel it in the low back. Maybe it's closer toward the hip that you experience this. Just take a couple of good deep breaths. A nice inhale. And exhale, that knee comes back in. Now we're trying to hug our knee in toward the direction of left shoulder. So it won't be able to go nearly as deep inward as it was able to go to right shoulder. That's okay. This gets us in toward that outer hip, outer thigh. So find the angle that gets you exactly into a good sensation through that area. Readjust until you find it and then just breathe into it. Exactly the right spot for your spine, your hips. Even notice how you can feel the stretch radiating out of that right arm. Out through the shoulder, the pec, down the fingertips. Just feel how connected the whole body is. A simple action, just one pose, stretching almost 50% of our muscles. Just so many muscle groups right here. Just keep on remaining conscious with the body. If the knee wants to drop deeper, that's okay. You do not have to force it. So easy breath into the belly. Nice exhale. When our hip starts to return down to the ground, we'll allow this right leg to go up to sky. Just an easy stretch. It's up to you. This is either about toes, getting that chance to circle around, or it can be about hamstring, like going to an easy length. 3 good breaths or so will take us into a good spot with this. Include one more inhale. Slow exhale to drop the leg down. And just notice how that right leg is experiencing this release. So easy, so restful. That nice sense of blood flow returning. So here, when you're ready, left knee comes in. Let's give it a good hug. And it's just that slow invitation to get the knee closer and closer to left shoulder. Keep the breath flowing. That's what helps the muscles relax into the shape. With the left hand, start to do that sloth claw hug around the front of that left knee. And then the knee starts to rotate open. Feel the ease of the posture. Next inhale. Exhale, knee travels up. We hug both hands around it again. The invitation is toward right shoulder. A couple of inches. It gets us so deep into the outer hip. This is a place where you could remain, or at any point, start to increase the twist, allowing left arm to open up to the left to help balance upper body and lower body together. Experiencing that wonderful connection right up the spine. Taking another really good inhale. And exhale. Start to return the hips down. We give that left leg a brief chance to stretch up to sky. Maybe focus on toes. Maybe the leg goes a bit straighter. Another inhale. And exhale. Start to release that leg back to the ground. We'll take a mini moment to be in Shavasana, just a couple of breaths. Start to tune into how the body is connected, how the legs tune into the head, how the shoulders are affected by hips. Just take a couple of breaths to see if you can release anything and notice if there's anything else that relates to that. Notice how the breath flow is affecting so many things. Just take a couple of breaths. Huge inhale. Long, slow exhale. And then let's begin to roll over to a fetal position. Take an easy inhale. Once again, long, slow exhale. And we press our way up to an easy seated place. So then the chain connecting the next several poses will help us to move up the chakras essentially. So first pose that we're given here will be first chakra, moving up to second chakra, and gradually moving our way up so that we can feel that connection, how moving into one area affects the next area and the next and the next. So first things first, we'll move into root chakra, just nice and easy into the hamstrings. Plant the feet out in front of you. And we're starting to set up a hug around the thighs. So this could be an easy hug, knees a little bit wider, head just releasing down. Or this could be a really tight hug, trying to get our torso right down onto the thighs. It's really up to you and how your body energy level feels. And start to notice how we can help the hamstrings. So the first thing I personally love to do is step 1 foot forward. Notice how that got deeper through the whole posterior section of the body. And then the other foot slides forward. And if you're already feeling like you need to break your hands away from the hug, that's maybe where you end. Or perhaps you continue to inch deeper and deeper until you're in an easy, restful, but a really nice stretch for the legs, especially hamstring area. One thing I love to be conscious of here is that head is just relaxing down. Making sure the backside of the neck is giving an additional benefit here just by releasing some of its tension. Huge inhale. Easy and long exhale. And then planting the hands, press into them to support the lift of the spine. It will be such an easy transition to go from that into a nice cobbler shape. This will help the hips start to open up into our sacral chakra. So you can stay with bottoms of feet really close to the hips, or you could scoot them a lot further forward. It's up to you and what helps your body. But begin to ease into that hip stretch when you're ready. Don't feel like you have to go into it immediately. Take your time. Just letting things open up at their own rate, just like a flower blossoming open. And in these bottom 2 areas of the spine, Imagine this beautiful red color that's starting to transition up toward an orange color. There's some flowers that have that beautiful touch where it's almost like an essence of fire, like the red turning into the orange. So in your mind's eye, just kind of hold on to that color, that red to orange color. And imagine that color is helping to heal and to connect these two areas together. Not so much a physical connection, like a fusion. Instead, it's more of an energetic connection, like a flow. Taking a really good inhale. Long, slow exhale. And finding the hands on the floor that supports our lift up. From here, right leg opens out to right. We have two options for heading into a twist. We could either just start to spiral our hands off to that left side. That'll kind of lift up the hip, getting a twist all the way from hip up to this low belly area. Or you could lift this left knee up and hook an elbow to set up the twist. So whichever feels better for your spine and or your hips, legs, is kind of like connecting all of these areas together. Whatever simple little twist feels best, choose that one. And in your mind's eye, visualize some sort of color, maybe a flower that's kind of doing that transition from from orange up to yellow. And that transition up is helping to energize, to heal, to connect these two areas from hips up to solar plexus. Nice inhale. Exhale, returning through the center, switching the legs out. Taking that right one in, do whichever variation you were just playing with. And good, and again, a nice good inhale. Slow exhale. And the leg starts to open out wide. Here we take a moment to kind of connect all those bottom three areas. Imagine the colors of fire, the reds, the oranges, the yellows kind of flowing together. What we're going to do is nice and easy with the legs straight. That gets us into first chakra. With the legs open, that's second chakra. So to include all three as we start to ease forward, we'll kind of sway back and forth between the right leg for a little while and the left leg. So it's like we're helping to massage solar plexus, spine. You choose how high up you are. You choose how far down you are. You choose how much you sway. Maybe it's just a matter of inches in the middle. And all along, try to visualize those colors, reds, oranges, and yellows, kind of all swirling together, creating beautiful images, beautiful paintings. Maybe there's a moment of stillness right in the middle. When you're ready, take some time if you're still balancing yourself left to right. And as we start to rise up, we begin the transition to the heart. Allow legs to be easy, whether they're cross-legged, straight, or just planted in front of you. Either way, what we're going to do is warp our hands behind us. The idea is walking them back to a point where shoulders are like kind of stretching, rotating. So deeper stretch would be pinkies a little bit closer together. Easier would be hands a little bit wider. You choose how far back you walk, but the idea is make sure heart is not collapsing down just to get hands back. Instead, the heart is also lifting up. Head can be in, head can be back. It's whatever's comfortable for you. And imagine that transition from warm colors to cool colors here, green. That perfect balance right in the middle. And feel your easy breath flowing into that heart area. And feel how this heart is the balance between the upper half and the lower half. Feel that deep connection. Three more breaths, just nice and easy into the heart. As we start to walk the hands back in, it might be nice to let the shoulders roll up and back, dropping them down. Maybe two more of those. Good. And from that stretch to the next, we'll actually feel like a nice balance to the shoulders. We're going to come onto our knees. And as we're taking puppy pose, we're transitioning from that heart chakra up to the throat. This is kind of like a blue turquoise color. So puppy pose, we leave the hips over the knees. The hands begin to walk forward. Maybe some of us just drop down to elbows. Maybe some of us are able to continue to reach until it's almost like the whole heart is in a nice arch. So one part of the throat chakra is that shoulder opening, continuing to go on, connecting from that heart up. But as long as it's not uncomfortable for your cervical spine, perhaps you also rest the chin on the floor. You don't have to stay there the whole time, but maybe some of the time to help that throat area really stretch open. So as long as it feels okay, that the neck bones are not crunching together, maybe we take at least a couple of breaths, just stretching that throat open. Imagine breathing in that cool turquoise color into the throat. Try to enjoy this, another 3 breaths. After that 3rd breath, let the knees go wide and then start to sink your way back into a nice child's pose. 3rd eye is where we're working next. That's a dark blue color. Imagine this as we set the forehead down directly onto the floor. Imagine that beautiful, really deep blue color just filling that area. Arms could be forward, or it might be nice just to tuck them back after those stretches we just did. Feel how this child's pose connects so many different muscle groups. The stretch, especially for back and quads. And I love just breathing into the belly, letting that breath go nice and wide. Sometimes it's nice here to rock the forehead into the ground, just left and right, left and right. Not only does that help us with that 3rd eye chakra, but also it gets some of those acupressure points that induce the calming response in our body. Imagine that transition, that connection from turquoise to this darker blue. As we're transitioning toward that last chakra, the crown chakra, purple, it's on the crown of the head. Sometimes it's nice to peek up at this one so that you know what you're heading into. The idea is we do start from this nice child's pose. Each hand wraps around trying to grab onto each heel. And then as we lift the hips up, this rocks us from the pressure of the ground on the forehead to the crown of the head. At the same time, it's a nice stretch for that shoulder blade area and the upper back. So just rest that crown of the head down. Let the hips lift. Only about 5 or 6 breaths here, nothing too much. You're still doing okay. One last inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Set the hips back down. If knees went narrow at all, go back wide. Allowing us to connect all those upper areas. Let's stretch this left arm forward and right shoulder threads under and through. Let the side of the head go down, twisting that head over to look at that left side, the right hand that's passing underneath. And kind of feel all those cooler colors swirling together, the purples, the blues, the greens. Unthreading this right arm, left takes its turn to be under and through. A nice inhale. Exhale, unwind. Let's take our way back down to sit. His legs are out in front of our body. We'll take a couple of nice poses that help us to kind of connect the whole body, connect top to bottom, left to right, all sorts of goodies. So let us cradle out the right leg. So we're either holding onto foot and knee, or maybe we're slipping up a bit deeper. Allow it to rock out a couple of times. And from this rocking, let's begin to set this right foot onto the left side. So this could be a chance for us to just push the right hand into the right knee. Sometimes that's the easiest, best thing we can do for the hip. Other times, I'll slide the foot closer. That'll increase the steepness. And you don't have to do this if it throws you off balance, but one thing I personally will do is do a hug around the thighs. It does kind of take me into that spot where it's like kind of a precarious balance, so you don't have to do it. But if it feels helpful, that is one more option. A nice inhale. Exhale. The foot on the ground continues to scoot over to the right so that we've got either cross leg, shin stack, or maybe right knee stack. Whichever variation is going to work for both hips to be on the floor. So from here, let's take a moment with eagle's arms, right elbow under left. And allow this upper body to twist or to lift or to pull in, anything at all that helps to loosen up anything that's tight in the upper half of the body. Just kind of play around until you feel a good muscle group getting pulled. Two of my favorites are lifting the elbows up and then pushing shoulders down, or elbows going forward as I round my spine back. Those are two of my favorites, but keep on playing, keep on exploring until you find what your body needs. Nice inhale. Exhale, release the arms entirely. Find the floor, and let's ease our way forward. ease our way back up. Put the hands behind. Open the legs to a nice wide shape, allowing these to take a few windshield wipers. Noticing how everything here is feeling lots of sensation. That means we got good stretches all over. Good. So when that feels pretty satisfied, take your right leg and just rest it down, cradling out left. Few good rounds. Place this left ankle onto right side, and then take any variation that's useful. Inhale. Exhale. Listen to this side. Does it want to do the crossed leg? Does it want to do the shin stack? Does it want to do the knee stack? Take the option that will be easy without needing to have hands. Both sitting bones are down. When you're there, this time we've got left elbow under right. Good. So once again, play around. Maybe we're twisting left and right. Maybe we're lifting elbows up or down. Just find good angles that help you explore into really useful spots. Another inhale. Long, relaxing exhale. Unwind, find the floor, and ease your way forward. Upper half meeting the lower half. Notice all sorts of colors of the whole spectrum, kind of interplaying. They're playing this whole game because we're totally connected together here. Nice inhale. Exhale. Easy rise. When the legs unwind, you take a moment with alternate nostril breathing. This helps to balance left and right side. You could physically do this with your hand, or you could do this psychically, just imagining you're inhaling in one side, exhaling out the other as I guide you through it. So it's up to you. If you're using your hand, just tuck down the pointer and the middle finger on your right hand. It'll be the thumb that plugs off that right nostril, and then it'll alternate between that and using that ring finger to plug off the left nostril. So without any plugging, let's take a normal inhale. Exhale. Plug off right nostril, inhale left. Plug off left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. We switch on the exhale. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. One more full cycle. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Good. Dropping down. Take a couple of natural breaths, eyes closed. And kind of notice what colors maybe are popping up. Maybe what spots of the body are feeling really connected, really good. Maybe also noticing if there's any spots that don't want to feel quite as connected. You have one spot that's extra tight out of all of the areas. So as we begin to make our way down onto our back, let's give a little bit of love, a little bit of attention to those last little tight spots, the spot that doesn't want to be quite as connected. And we allow ourselves to do a couple of last things that are just helpful for that area. So maybe this is the last pose, like rocking on the low back for the sacrum, or maybe taking a twist for the solar plexus. Or this could even be just a gentle massage, maybe fingertips kind of massaging the crown of the head or the shoulders. If there's anything we can do to just kind of energetically and physically support the tightest spots of our body, the spots that don't want to be connected, that's what we're doing for the next minute or so. Any of those things that feel particularly helpful or even just particularly kind to our body. Continue to explore intuitively until your body knows that it's time for you to find your Shavasana place, that place where the greatest connection of all, the greatest integration of all becomes possible. So only when you feel comfortable and ready, let your body begin to find your peaceful Shavasana state. Maybe imagine every breath in, energy flows from head to toes. Any breath out, energy flows from toes to head. Feeling that entire area connected, energized, experiencing flow that's not possible if one of the areas is stagnant. It's the flow of connection. Be here for several minutes. So just keep the ease, the flow, the connection going. Here we'll begin to deepen our inhales and our exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Enjoying a couple of bonus breaths here. Maybe a good 4 or 5 deep breaths until sooner or later you feel ready to rise. Whenever we're up, we'll join hands together in front of the heart. Just sense overall our body having come to a place of a little bit deeper connection, a little bit deeper awareness, a deeper kind of consciousness and love. And so with this beautiful, deeper kind of connection to lead us on, we realize just as connected as we got inward, we can start to connect outward. Imagining we're just like a forest trying to connect through the mycelium to other roots, other trees, creating a whole network. So with this, with connection to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together. We'll wrap up with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.